the whole reason why I started all of this influencer stuff to begin with is because of my sister. So shout out to Shanti Asia for putting me out there, being there for me every step of the way, and just encouraging me. And also shout out to my best friend because she was a big help to Janiyah Dariel. So yeah.
What is your definition of a real friend?
Um,
Your personal definition here. What are those characteristics of a real friend?
my personal definition of a real friend would probably be somebody that could keep it real with me. Like, if I was go to my friend and be like, hey, do I stink? And then you tell me no because you lying. Like, you trying to save my feelings. Like you're not my real friend because my real friend going to tell me that I stink. If you, another thing, somebody that's there for you no matter what. Like, no matter if y'all arguing or into it, like, they're still there for you. Like, no matter what, they 10 toes behind you, no matter what. Somebody that gives you the same energy you give them. I'll say that for sure. Because you don't want to be friends with somebody that's not giving you the same energy that you give them. Like, just no point. What's another definition? I mean, not definition, another reason. I don't know. Like, I can't just think about it at the top of my head. Like, I'll just have to be around you and be like, okay, she cool, or okay, she not cool. Like, that's just I can't really just sit there and explain it. Like, I could say a little bit, but like not a lot.
Now, speaking of the friends that aren't cool, how do you spot fake friends?
Um, Number one red flag and a fake friend is somebody that's two-faced. Like, they'll come to you and then go talk to somebody that you're not cool with and talk about you to them and then come back to you and tell you that what they said and then go back to them and they tell you. Like, it's just a whole he say she say. I say that's definitely one of the red flags. Like, that right there, that'll get you cut.
Now, as soon as you notice this red flag, is it a zero tolerance policy for you, so to speak, where you do cut them off immediately? Or do you give a person the benefit of the doubt at first and give them a chance to redeem themselves?
Yeah, I feel like I do that a lot. Not just one time. I do that a lot. So, but if it's like, I don't know, like, you don't really want to be cool with somebody that's still like telling your business. So it's just like, and that's what a lot of females do. Like, they think that gives them cool points to the next person. Them telling your business, or them feeling like they could talk about you to somebody. Like, I don't know. Like, some people might not do that, but like, there's a lot of people that do that, and I've had a couple people do that to me. Like, just to make themselves look good in front of somebody else, they'll downplay you and then be in your face and act like they never downplayed you.
Now, you've already shared who your best friend currently is. Do you recall how you two met for the very first time?
Um, Me and my best friend, we met at dance. Wait, when was it? It was like we met during dance. Like, how do I say this? I'm trying to figure out what is it called. Dance tryouts. We met during dance tryouts. When I was in middle school, I believe. I think I was in middle school. When I was in middle school, I had wanted to try to do majorette because I was like, I think that's around the time. No, it wasn't. It was not around the time I started doing TikToks. I feel like this was right before I started doing TikToks. I wanted to try doing majorette. So we was just at dance practice one day and we just started talking. No, I think it was during tryouts when we started talking. We started talking there and we was just friends then. Like, I used to call her my sister. I was like, oh yeah, that's my sister. Da, da, da. I feel like we had got really close after her birthday. I went to her birthday. She was helping me do my hair. We was just vibing, kicking in. Then after that, like, we just kept talking and talking and talking and talking. And it was just like, we just like me and my best friend, like, we're so different from other best friends. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, we're really different from other best friends. Like, we could go days without talking to each other and still be like this. Like, we'll be tight. We'll go weeks without talking to each other, and when we talk to each other, there's a lot to talk about, or we just catch each other up on everything, or whenever um I go see her, it's just always the vibes. Like, that's really my dog. Like, we don't feel out probably one time for real, but it's just like at the end of the day, that was like that was one of the only persons that I ever had. For real. That's my dog.
Now, speaking of falling out, how did you two reunite?
Um,
Was that her initiating that? Was that you initiating that? How does that happen?
yeah,
Because sometimes,
basically, it was something that she initiated because the reasoning why we had fell out, it was really like a both of us reasoning, but it was more so on her end. She didn't want to, how do I say this? She didn't want to really like take my advice for real, so I just let her go out the hard way. Then after that situation happened, she ended up coming back to me and just telling me everything, telling me how sorry she was. And me personally, like, I'm just like, it's our first time falling out. I'm not gonna fault you for that. Like, everybody butts their head. Everybody makes mistakes, so I'm not gonna fault you for that. So we did ended up getting back cool. Now, we didn't get back best friends automatically, but eventually we let that build. Like, I'll go see her and we'll go like on the bestie dates. Like, we'll go out to eat or we'll go to the movies. I remember when we first linked back up, since we went months without talking to each other, we went on a picnic with each other. We was painting. So really, it was just like we was doing what we could do to regain our friendship back again. And I say right now, like, we're good. Like, we're real good.
and what is she really like?
Um, my best friend, she's nonchalant. She's funny. She's crazy. She's a very how can I say this? She's very athletic. She very athletic. She has a very good personality. Like, she's very caring. Like, she cares for other people. She's a good listener. She's good at giving out advice. I'll say she's great at giving out advice. Like, I feel like that would be out of her and my sister. Well, actually, out of all my friends, those two people will probably be the most people I'll go to for advice or if I have a problem with anything, because they're never the type to what's that stuff called? They're never the type to like go beat around the bush. They're the type to go straight forward into what really going on. But yeah, I don't know. That girl got so many like personalities, but one personality she does have for sure that sticks out that people notice is that girl is stuck up. Not stuck up, but how can I say this? Bestie, I love you. I'm sorry. But how can I say this?
Bougie?
No, she's not bougie. She's not bougie. She's very humble. She's I'm trying to figure out the word, okay? I'm sorry. I say I don't know how to explain it. Like, she's like she one of the ones that don't like she has like Bestie, I love you. Like, don't take this the wrong way. She just got attitude problems. She knows she got attitude problems, though. Like, she knows she got attitude problems. But, yeah, that'll probably be one thing people will notice. That girl got attitude problems. That girl crazy.
Now, speaking of advice, what's the best advice you received from her, or most important thing you learned being around her so far?
The best advice my best friend probably gave me was, I'll say it was a point in time where I was very like down and depressed with being on social media. Like, I felt like I was overly working hard and I wasn't getting nothing out of it. and she was there like making sure I was like basically motivating me, basically telling me like you can't listen to everything everybody says, like you like basically everything that I'm telling her now is like all the advice that she's been giving me. Like she'll tell me like you don't need nobody else, like you do this for you, this and that and the third. Like even now to this day she'll call me, check up on me, tell me like like she'll tell me you don't need nobody. You could do all of this stuff on your own. Like basically when she's saying I don't need nobody, she's basically saying like I don't have to like be in groups, or I don't have to like stress about not doing videos because I could just do it with the people I'm around. Like as in like my son, and my little brother, or just her in general. But the best advice she probably gave me was to just keep going. Like every time I felt like I was giving up, she'll be right there like, no, you can't do that. Like you did all of this for what? To give up? You did all of this for what? To backtrack and just go back to where you was? Like it was so many times where I wanted to move back home, but I just like knew that wasn't gonna be right. Like yeah, some people be like, yeah, move back just because they want me to move back, but I just feel like she was the one who was keeping me like, nah, like you know what you got going out there. Like you doing good. Keep going. Keep doing good. But yeah.
Anything else you want to mention about your best friend or question you weren't asked? People want to know just about her.
Um, Not really. I feel like I done said everything that had to do with her.
Now, you also use the word depressing or depression or something of that nature here. Mentally, has this been something you sought any professional help with?
Um, no, I didn't. I feel like I could have just did it on my own. Like I could have just went away with it on my own. I just needed like time to myself, like just staying in a, like me personally, I feel like me going like I do this off like not often, but I do it sometimes. Like I'll take like a small social media break and I'll not post for a couple days. Like I'll go ghost on my stories and I'll go ghost on my stories, or I just won't post nothing at all, like not a story, not a picture. I'll delete everything off my pages, like just because like I know like I don't want nobody messing with me. And it just be like people still do it because they be like, oh, why she delete this or why she do that. Like I feel like sometimes just so people wouldn't notice, I'll just not post at all, and nobody would really say nothing unless I just delete something. But that's one thing I did learn though.
So when you use the phrase depression, that's just a self-assessment. Never been diagnosed with depression or anything of that
Well,
nature.
actually, I have, but it was just like the only time I feel like I ever got diagnosed with depression was whenever my ex best friend died. After that, was taking stuff for that, but like I was going to therapy and stuff. But I feel like after that, I wasn't really like I was able to learn like while I was doing the therapy and stuff. I was able to learn to like cope with myself, so I knew how to cope. Like I'll have different coping methods, like writing in a journal, writing in my notes. This might sound a little weird, but sometimes I'll be talking to myself like just like to encourage myself. Like, you feel me? Sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you gotta just look in the mirror and just talk to yourself so you know like to stay focused. Like don't go out of control. Know what you're doing this for. Know what you're like trying to do to elevate in life, really.
Was that professional at the time or that therapy you had at the time helpful?
I feel like it was only because I did like before I was doing therapy, I had very bad like anger, and I say like I have bad anger now, but it's just like it's not as bad as it used to be. So it's like I'm able to cope with it. I know how to cope with my anger. Like I could take a quick walk or shit, smoke a little blunt or two. But but yeah.
And that professional that you saw at the time, was there a specific name they were called? Like, was it just a therapist, a general therapist at that point, or
I
was
ain't
it
gonna
something more
lie.
specific?
I don't really I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I just take like those same coping skills and I take them like over the years. Just because I just know like I don't want to be sitting in somebody's room laying on their couch. Like I don't got time for that now. So it's just like you either gonna cope with it or not. Cause at the end of the day, it's just like me me being depressed. I feel like it wasn't doing nothing but like bring me down. Cause life is still going. Like you gonna be depressed, and then life time is still gonna be going. Time's not stopping. So I just feel like whenever I'm mentally in my head, I'll just take a couple days off for myself and I'll like get back to it. One thing that definitely does help me get back into like reality would be working out. I love going to the gym. I just started going to the gym after I had my baby for real. But I did used to run track, so it wasn't nothing really new to me. But just me actually having a goal, because you know after you have a baby you get a little insecure and you want to get your body back right, and that's kind of how it was. Like I was insecure, I wanted my body to get back right, and I was going to the gym a lot, and I just seen like that as one of my coping methods. Like I'll go just to like work out and then just burn out all of my anger. So I'll like when I first started going, I'll go any time of the day. I go in the morning, I go at night, I go in the middle of the day, like just to regroup myself.
So, be that as it may, as far as mental health
Mhm.
and a mental health professional, do you want to see one? Are you open to seeing someone in the future, or
If I feel like the only way I would be, well, I feel like the only way I would see a therapist if I feel like I'm getting too depressed to the point where I um what's that called? I just had a brain fart. I'm sorry. All these lights is just but I feel like the only time I feel like I would need to go to a therapist if I'm just like super depressed to the point where I can't move or do anything, and I don't think I would ever let myself get down bad to that point where I'm just not be able to do anything, cuz like I said, at the end of the day I still have a child. So time is still going to be moving. It's still going to be day. It's still going to be night. At the end of the day got to end. So with that being said, it's just like when I feel like I get depressed, I just be having to like do something to make sure. Like that's one thing for sure. Like I try to tell people this all the time, just so you won't be depressed, like do something you love doing. Like it could be anything. It could be coloring, it could be cleaning up, it could be shit cooking, it could be anything, running, going around the block. Like it could be anything, just so keep your mind off of doing anything dumb.
and speaking of that middle school, once upon a time, care to share the name of that you attended?
um the middle school I went to was H.F. Stevens Middle School.
And what ended up happening with those dance tryouts? Were you able to make what you were trying to make
Oh
or
baby.
obtain that goal
um
at that time in your life?
Around that time, like, so dance definitely costed money. And around that time, I didn't have no job, like, and you know, the struggle with parents and da da da, like, we just gonna keep it a buck with you, baby. I didn't have the funds to be on no dance team for real. So it's just like, I did the tryouts, I made the team, but when it came to like the first competition and stuff, like, I didn't really get to go because it was like, my peoples couldn't pay for it. So that's whenever the part came in when I started doing hair. Before I became a social media influencer, I was a hairstylist.